Have you ever heard of Missing 411? Every year, thousands of people vanish from national parks across North America, and many of them are never found. This mystery began with David Paulides, a former police investigator who stumbled upon the case while speaking with a national park ranger in Yosemite National Park. The ranger revealed something shocking. People go missing at an alarming rate, yet no official database exists to track these disappearances. Paulides started investigating and discovered disturbing patterns. People vanished without a trace in specific locations, often in ways that defied logic. No signs of struggle. Bodies, when found, often lacked any clear cause of death. Children discovered miles away, in places impossible for them to reach alone. And perhaps the most unsettling fact? The government refuses to release full data on missing persons in national parks. Why are these cases shrouded in secrecy? What is really happening deep in the wilderness? After reviewing hundreds of cases, Paulides found frightening consistencies among the disappearances. No signs of a struggle or footprints. Victims' clothing neatly folded or missing entirely. Many disappearances occur near bodies of water. Sudden, unexpected storms shortly after someone vanishes, almost as if nature itself was covering the evidence. Take the case of Jared Atadero, a 3-year-old who went missing in Colorado in 1999. 3 years later, his remains were found at an altitude he couldn't have climbed on his own. His shoes were in perfect condition, as if he had never walked on rough terrain. And this isn't an isolated case. Across the country, hikers, campers, and even experienced survivalists vanish without explanation. Is there something lurking in the forests, taking people away? Among the hundreds of missing 411 cases, some stand out as truly unexplainable, stories that make even the most skeptical minds question what really happened. Let's start with Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old boy who vanished without a trace during a family camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains. His father watched him play with other kids just 40 feet away, and then he was gone. A massive search effort, helicopters, dogs, the National Guard. Nothing. The only lead? A witness claimed to have seen a rough-looking man carrying something through the woods nearby. Then there's the case of Jared Atadero, a 3-year-old who disappeared while hiking with a group of adults. 2 years later, search teams found his clothes, neatly folded on a rock. But here's the strangest part. His shoes looked almost brand new. If a mountain lion or wild animal had attacked him, why weren't there any rips, bloodstains, or drag marks? And then there's the case of the vanishing hiker, an experienced outdoorsman, last seen taking a well-marked trail in Yosemite. His GPS watch suddenly stopped tracking movement right in the middle of an open area. Search teams combed through every inch of the park. No body, no clothing, no explanation. How can experienced hikers, children, and entire groups of people disappear, leaving behind no tracks, no signs of struggle, no logical explanation? And the biggest question of all, why is this happening in the same locations over and over again? Some believe these people simply got lost or fell victim to the elements. But how do you explain children disappearing from one side of a mountain and reappearing miles away, sometimes without a scratch? Others believe these cases are being covered up. Former park rangers and whistleblowers claim there are government agencies that actively suppress information about missing persons in national parks. But why? And then there are the more unconventional theories. Could some of these victims have fallen into an alternate dimension? Is there an unknown predator lurking deep in the wilderness, something we don't understand? Some point to mysterious lights seen near these locations, linking the phenomenon to alien abductions. Others blame an ancient predator, a creature lurking in the forests for centuries. What makes this even more chilling? Many of these missing individuals vanished in locations with a history of paranormal activity. Could the truth be more terrifying than we can imagine? One thing is certain. Something strange is happening in America's national parks. Too many cases, too many coincidences, and yet, no clear answers. Despite years of research, David Paulides and other investigators are no closer to uncovering the full truth behind the missing 411 cases. The National Park Service refuses to release full records on missing persons. Families are left with more questions than answers. And every year, more and more people vanish without a trace. So, what do you think? Are these disappearances just tragic accidents? Or is something far more sinister at play? Maybe some mysteries were never meant to be solved.